don't know if I'll ever post any of this online, but here's a little bit of my story. 1976, I was 13 years old. I lived in West Haven, Connecticut, right outside of New Haven, Connecticut. That's when I got picked up by a pedophile. And he took me to his house and skipped school and smoked marijuana. And then he put on some porno movies, and then he molested me. He was a con artist. Then he would tell you to bring your friends over. They could skip school and stay there and get high. Then he introduced me to one of his buddies, another pedophile. Guy worked at an Italian restaurant in the mall back then in New Haven, Connecticut. Then he told me I could make money at this cruise where all the gay people used to cruise to meet. Of course, I never saw no money. It was a big old con. Big old con. Of course, I was embarrassed, ashamed. Everything was fucked up with me. So I did more and more drugs. Then I left him, and I went to that gay cruise and started prostituting myself at like 13, 14 years old. For not much money to buy weed. And I kept it secret from everybody. Nobody had a fucking clue. And then through my years, got away from it, got back into it in the early 80s. After I got out of jail, went back to it. All my girlfriends were strippers or outlaw prostitutes, ones without pimps, or call girls. And they liked male prostitutes. They liked hustlers because sex was just about work. It was about making money. So supporting ourselves and surviving. And buying drugs to deal with the things we did to survive. It was insane. It was a vicious cycle. It just went on and on. Anyway, I traveled around the country because I'd get in trouble and be wanted one place and I'd always split. So I've been all over the country. And for 30 years, I was in and out of jail, and it really fucked up my life. Drugs and everything else. And you wonder when you hear about someone that's been molested and stuff, why it takes 20, 30, 40 years before they ever come out and say anything. I never said anything. I think 13 or 14 years ago, I talked to my mom about it. You know, she told me that couldn't have happened. I was too good of a mom. If that had happened, I would have known about it. Well, she didn't. She didn't. Nobody did. Now, I've had some friends for 25 years. They've only just recently found out because it still was a secret. My 50-year secret. The last 20 years or so, 25 hasn't been too bad. I had my issues with drugs a couple times. Got my life back together. I've always been patriotic, though. But all my fucked up years of my life were all a direct result of being abused by some pedophiles. They ruined my life. My life would have went totally different directions had that shit not happened to me. And then it continued to fuck up another 20 or 30 years of my life. And I'll never get that back. And here it is 50 years later from the start of that, and only now am I willing to talk about it. That's only because we got a pedophile as the president. They ruin fucking lives. Pedophiles destroy lives. Wonder why it takes so long for people to come forward with it. Because it's the shame, the guilt, all the emotional baggage that goes along with it. That's why it takes so long for people to come out. Get demonized and looked down at. And for a while, I was a victim. But I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a fucking survivor. And Donald Trump is gonna go fucking down. Pedophiles need to go down. They took 30 years of my life. They need to go down. How many other lives have they destroyed? If they're in the Epstein files, they need to go down. Period.